right, so we'll start on our back, just taking some space lying down, and you can spread out your arms, spread out your legs. Even grab a pillow to put underneath your head. So close your eyes. And if you like, you can place one hand on your chest and one on your belly, just to help you ground yourself. And just take a moment here. Just put aside anything that you need to be doing today or anything that's been happening the last 2 days. And just to come into this practice and give yourself the gift of being present here for the next hour. Slowly start to inhale through your nose, feeling your belly rise, and then exhale out of your mouth. We'll do that again, inhaling through the nose, big inhale, and then exhale out of your mouth, strong exhale. As you do this, just let go of anything that's been going on, anything that's been bothering you. So one more time, inhale. And then exhale out of your mouth. Slowly, we'll start with a breathing exercise. So we'll do inhaling through our nose, holding our breath, exhaling out of your mouth, and then holding your breath again. If you want, you can exhale out of your nose as well. And we'll do this to about 4 counts. So slowly starting here, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we'll just inhale until you no longer have any space. Hold your breath until you no longer can, and then exhale until you no longer have any breath. So inhale, chest is rising. Hold your breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. So at any point in the practice, you can employ this and use this to ground yourself and to come back into the practice. Slowly bring your knees into your chest and then rock yourself side to side, just holding onto your knees or your thighs directly. Bring your knees up towards the ceiling, so as if they're pointed towards the ceiling. And then slowly start to draw some circles onto the ceiling. So we're going counterclockwise or clockwise. Whichever way, just go in one direction. Bringing the rotations down to your hips, and then go in the other direction. You might stop at some point and just focus on one area that you might need a bit more massage in your lower areas. Maybe going side to side, front and back with your knees. And then slowly bring your knees in, give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug here. And then bring your knees down on either side, right or left, into a fetal position. And then push into your hands and knees coming up into the top. The tabletop, your shoulders are over your wrists and your hands, and then your knees are right underneath your hips. And here, just start to move your hips side to side, moving a little freely here. And then you can start to move your torso around in circles as well. So now lowering your rib cage, bringing your rib cage out to the left side, upwards towards the right, and making circles with your rib cage. And then going in the other direction. Warming up the spine here, bringing movement. And then slowly, what we're going to do is tuck our toes. So our toes are tucked. And then bring with you your blocks. So if you have 2 blocks with you, just bring those in front. So they're about shoulder width apart. So your toes are bent, you're on your toes now, you're sitting onto your toes. And if this at any point becomes too intense for your feet, you can always flatten them and sit onto your feet flat. So for now, we're on our toes. And here, slowly start to bring shoulder rotation. So bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and back. Large shoulder rotation. Here, it's as if your shoulder blades are about to touch behind you. So just imagine that. So doing some shoulder rotation. Up towards the ears. And then forward. Slowly here, come back to neutral. And then what we're going to do is bring a bend in the elbows. And then slowly lower your elbow onto the block. And then once you have your elbow on the block, you lower your head through the block. And then you can have your hands together at the top, above your head. And try to let your head go through these blocks. And here you can keep your toes tucked. Or you can flatten your feet. You can put a pillow behind your bum. And in this position, try to let go of the weight of your head. Closing your eyes. And here you can attempt to just bring your attention to your breathing. Not really counting if you don't want to, but you can just, in your mind, say inhale. And if you like, hold your breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. Just try to let your head drop through the block, letting go of all the weight of your head. With your toes, notice that the weight is evenly distributed around your toes. Slowly start to lift your head up, placing your arms by the blocks and bringing the blocks by your side, that they're out of the way. And slowly flip out your toes so that they're flat now. The tops of the feet are on the ground. And here you can just slightly tap your toes on the ground just to massage the top of your feet. You can rub the top of your feet on the ground side to side. And then slowly just sit back onto your heels. On your heels here, we'll do some more shoulder rotations going backwards. Feeling the difference, maybe they're a little looser. Rotating backward. And then slowly come back to neutral, your head is straight. And then with your back long, start to bring your chin into your chest. Feeling the pull in the back of the spine, all the way down your back. Seeing how far that goes. And then slowly start to explore the position. You can start to bring your head slightly to the left, feeling the pull in the right side of the neck. If you need to bring your hand up to your neck, go for it. Give yourself what you need here just to assist the stretch. Just holding where it is that you need to pull. And slowly start to bring your head over to the right side, feeling the stretch in the left side neck. You can even bring your fingertips to the ground in your left side. If you bring your left fingertips to the ground, you'll feel more of a stretch in your neck. And just tilt your head forward and back, exploring the position and bringing the pull into different parts of the neck. Then slowly bring your head back to neutral. Your face is straight in front of you. And then this time now bring your head over, so towards the ceiling. You're looking up towards the ceiling. Bringing the stretch to the front of the neck. And if you like, you can bring your hand up to your neckline. And it helps give more of a stretch to the neck. And same thing, you can start to turn your head a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Noticing the different parts of the neck that you're stretching. Then slowly bring your head back to neutral. Here, slowly bring your knees about mat width apart. You can come up onto your hands and then stretch out in front of you with your arms and bring your hips back behind you so you're in child's pose. So you can bring your head down to the ground. And your arms are activated and pulling in front. And here, if you have some room, just go over with your hands towards the right side, giving a stretch to the left side body, the torso. Noticing your breath. Not changing anything about it, but just noticing what's going on, how you're breathing. Start to bring your hands through the center, walking over towards the left side. Maybe your body is over your left knee, feeling the stretch in the right side body. And then slowly come back to center. And this time push up into your hands, you're back in a tabletop, and then push into your hands and knees coming into a downward facing dog. Your hips are in the air, you can walk out your feet, or even just stabilize the position here and just try to push your heels down to the ground. We're not really reaching the ground, but the idea is there, and you're feeling the pull in your back and hamstring. Your arms are strong. And then slowly start to walk your feet up to your hands at the top of the mat. And here, hanging over your legs. Exhale. Inhale, you're a half lift, so your back is long, your hands are at your shin. Exhale over your legs. Let go. You can just hang here, even holding on to your elbows with a bend in your knees. And here, just imagining all the stresses and all the worries just rolling off your shoulders. Slowly from here, what we're going to do is stand up straight, bringing our arms overhead, hands together. Stretching up towards the ceiling, as if you're about to touch the ceiling. And then bring your hands to heart center. And then one more time, hands go overhead, together at the top. Stretching up towards the ceiling. And then you can bring your hands right back down to the ground by your feet. And then what we're going to do is bring back our right foot and then our left foot. And then we're in a bit of a low plank here. Bring your knees to the ground. Flatten out your feet. Lower your chest to the ground. You're bringing a bend into your elbows. And lift your chest up. So you're pushing into your hands. And your chest is up as if in a baby cobra or an up dog. Your chest is up. There's a bend in your back. And then you lower back down again. You tuck your toes. And then we push back into a downward facing dog. From here, you can walk out your feet. And then walk your hands right back up. Walk your feet right up to your hands again. And you're hanging over your legs. And then inhale, hands go up in the air towards the ceiling, hands together at the top of the mat. Stretching up to the ceiling, as if you're going to touch the ceiling. And then hands come to heart center. One more time, hands come down, around, and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands down to your feet. Inhale, you lift. Your back is straight, your hands are at your ankle. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground again. And then as you inhale, you bring your left foot back, your right foot back. You're in the low plank again. Bring your knees to the ground, and your chest goes next to the ground. Inhale, you push up your chest. You have a bend in the back. Exhale, you lower your chest, and then inhale again. You come up to your knees through to a downward facing dog, your thumbs in the air. Great. And then here, walk out your feet. So we'll do that one more time. So walk your feet up to your hands. Bring your hands to your shins. You can lower yourself down, hang over your knees. Inhale, half lift so your back is long. Exhale, you hang over your legs again. And then inhale, your hands go up and over. You're standing tall, hands are together at the top of the mat, reaching towards the ceiling. And then hands come to heart center. One more time, hands come down and around, up overhead, reaching towards the ceiling. And then exhale, you come down. Your hands are by the floor next to your feet. Inhale, lift towards your ankles, and then your back is long. Exhale, your hands come back to the ground. Inhale, bring back your right leg. Exhale, and then bring back your left leg. Now you're in a plank again. The knees come down to the ground. Then your chest. This is the last one. So push up into your chest, and then lower your chest back down to the ground. And then tuck your toes and push up, coming up into a downward facing dog. Thumbs in the air. Here you can walk at your feet. You can stabilize the position and then just try to bring your heels down to the ground, feeling the pulse in the back of the leg. If this ever feels uncomfortable in your shoulders or anything, you can always widen the stance with your hands and flare out like your fingers. You make more space between your fingers, and it should help. Here, bring your right foot up into the air, towards the ceiling. Your right foot is up. Then bring your right knee towards your right wrist, and your foot is going to the left side. Stretch out your left leg. You're in pigeon pose. You can stay up here or grab a block. Place the block as needed to give yourself some support for your head. Just check that your shoulders are right above your elbow and that your head and neck is long and straight, that you're not sinking into the pose. Here, feel free to use some props underneath your hips, pillows, anything that works. And if you're not feeling much of a stretch in your hamstring, your right hamstring today, you can always inch your right toes upwards and you'll feel the pull. Here, notice your breathing, what's going on. If you're breathing too quickly, maybe try to just inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Slowly tuck your left toes and push up into your hands, coming back into a downward facing dog. Hips are in the air. Here might feel good to walk out your feet again. If you like to come into a child's pose, you can do that as well. Bring your knees down, mat support, hips come down to your feet, and then you stretch out in front. That might feel good for your legs. And then come back into a downward facing dog. And then this time, slowly bring your left leg up towards the ceiling, reaching up as high as you can go. Bring your left knee towards your left wrist, and then your foot goes up to the left, the right side here. And then pull back your right leg. Maybe inch your left toes up. And then when you're ready, lower yourself back down onto your prop for your head. Each side of the body is always different. So maybe on this side you need some props, you like to use some. Maybe on the other side you didn't want to. inhale through your nose. And then exhale out of your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Notice how with every breath you're taking and every exhale you do, that you feel that your body is sinking a little deeper into this pose. And that maybe in the beginning of the pose it feels a little stiff, a little tight, and then as you hold it, things loosen, or that the sensation changes. You notice the change. Slowly push up into your hands, tucking your right toes, and come back into a tabletop this time. And if it feels good for you, you can come into a child's pose or into a downward facing dog, and walking out your feet. And then this time, what we're going to do is bring your right foot through towards your hands. So they're going in between your hands. Your right foot is stepping in between your hands. So you're in a low lunge. So your left foot is on your tippy toes. And from here, you can lower your knee to the ground. Your left knee is on the ground. And if you need to put a pillow underneath your knee, you can do that. And bring your blocks with you. So you have your foot in between your blocks. And here you can stand up tall with this position. Your back is long, your head is going towards the ceiling. And you can stay here, feeling the stretch in your leg and pulling back your left leg also, so you feel it in the top of your left leg. And then now what you can do is bring your right hand in. So your right block is in, your right foot goes out a bit more, widening the stance with your leg. And now you're feeling the stretch more on the inner thigh of the right leg. And from here, with your blocks, you can keep your blocks at the same height on the highest height, and then lower your forearm onto the block, lowering yourself in this position just a little bit. If you're able to reach all the way to the ground or on the lower level of the block by flipping the block to the lower level, you can go ahead and do that as well. This just intensifies the stretch. We won't hold this too long. So we'll do one breath here. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. And then on your next inhale here, just start to come up onto your block, standing back up straight. And then bring your foot back in, bringing your block outside of your foot. And slowly here, start to walk back your block. So what you're going to do is tuck your left foot before you do that. You're on your toes for your left foot. And then slowly walk your block back. Stretching out your right leg. You can flex your right foot. Right in front of you, the leg is long to flex. and you're sitting onto your left foot. There's always one side that's a bit easier than the other. You'll notice which side it is for you. So here it might be a bit of a challenge, or maybe the other side will be for you. Even in this position, your back is long, your head is towards the ceiling. And even notice your shoulders, that your shoulders are not scrunching up towards your ears. So roll back your shoulders. And then slowly walk your blocks back forward towards the front. You can place your hands on the ground. Bring your foot back behind you. You're back in the tabletop. Here, feel free. Downward facing dog, cat cow, house pose. Whatever feels good for you here. Then come back up into the tabletop and bring your right foot through between your hands, and then pick up your toes, your right toes this time, and bring your knee back. So you're stretching your leg back behind you. The right leg goes further back, and then come back onto your block. But here you're checking that your knee, your front knee, the one that's pulled forward, the left one, the knee is right over the ankle. And here you can just stay here. Back is long towards the ceiling. You can even bring your hand to the front leg if you'd like to try that out. Some balancing. Or just put your weight back onto the block. And then slowly open your left leg. Bring your left block inside. Your left foot is outside the block. Now bringing the stretch into the inner thigh. And same here, if you like, you can lower down onto your block or onto the ground with your forearms. Here, one breath will do. So inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Hold your breath. Then slowly come back up onto the blocks with your hands. Bring your foot back inside the middle of the block. Tuck your right toe. And then start to walk back. Landing onto your right toes. You're sitting onto your right toes. Flexing your left foot. So you might have landed on the more difficult, challenging side for yourself. So just be kind to yourself if that's where you are. Your back is long as much as possible. Your shoulders are back. And then slowly start to walk your blocks forward, bringing your blocks to the side, outside of the mat, and then bringing your foot right back, coming into the tabletop. Here you can go into the child's pose or downward facing dog. And then slowly come back. Tabletop, your knees are on the ground. And here, what we're going to do with your knees on the ground, your hips in the air, slowly bring your right arm through towards the left side and bring your head down to the ground. We won't be in this pose for too long. Just take a moment. Then slowly push up into your hands, back into a tabletop. And then this time bring your left hand through towards the right side. Head goes back down to the ground. Hips are still lifted. And slowly push up, and you're back in the tabletop. And then this time lie down onto your stomach. You can have your hands in front of your face, and then bring your forehead down to your hands. And then here, turn your face so your face is facing the left side. So your right cheek is on the floor. And stretch out your arms at the shoulder height. So your arms are straight out. Or if you don't have space, you can bring a bend into your elbow, but your arms are still at elbow height. At the shoulder. So your elbow is up at the shoulder height. From here, what we're going to do with our right cheek on the ground is starting to roll over onto the right shoulder. So tuck your left toes, bring your left hand to your chest, and roll over onto your right shoulder. And bring your your left leg behind you. And here you can place a block underneath your head for support, and it enhances the stretch into your shoulder as well. So you've rolled over onto your right shoulder. In all these positions, always bring your attention to the alignment of your neck in order to just not cause more injury. So always try to see how you can support your body. Slowly remove the block that was underneath your head, lower your cheek back to the ground, unrolling from this position, and straighten your arm out. So now both your arms are back in the T shape, and this time face your head towards the right side, your left cheek is on the ground. Place your right hand by your chest, the palm is on the ground. Touch your right toe, and this time start to roll over onto your left shoulder, bringing your leg behind you. Your right leg is behind you. And then place a block underneath your head to support. Pushing back onto your left shoulder this time. And in every pose, you'll notice a slight difference in either side of the body. Maybe one side is a little tighter. slowly remove the block from underneath your head. Roll back out onto your chest. Then here you can take a moment or just start to turn around onto your back. You can place a pillow underneath your head or on your back, keeping your props close. On your back, just have your feet on the ground, your knees are bent. Your knees are right over your ankle. And here, if you have your block nearby, just grab one of your blocks on the lower end, lower height, and then slip this underneath your hip. Lower your hips onto the block. And just to check that you're in the right location, you're not on your lower back or anything, so just lift your knees up, and there shouldn't be any pinching sensation. Once you feel, you can stay here today if you like. You can stay on the lower block, and if you like, you can flip the block, the same block that you have underneath you, onto the higher level, or add a second block. So grab your second block, come up onto your tippy toe, lift your hips up, and then slide that second block on top of the first one. In this position, you'll notice that your shoulders need to be protected. So just tuck your shoulders behind you and have your palm facing the ceiling. And if you like, you can always place a pillow between your knees. It might feel good. It makes you no longer have to hold on to your legs. So they just hold themselves in place. You have the pillow between your knees. So you can have your feet about mat width apart, and then it's as if you're TPing, but into the pillow that's between your knees, or a third block. Here you can close your eyes. As you close your eyes, what we'll do is stretch out our eyes a little bit. So with your eyes closed, you start to notice all the little colors in your eyelids. Maybe there's a lot of light, mostly red. And then what we'll do is start to bring your eyes over towards the right side. So you're looking towards the right side inside your eyeballs. Then you're looking towards the left side. Then bring your eyes upwards in your eyeballs. Then your eyes go down. And then start to bring your eyes in a circular way. So you're going from the right side upwards, towards the left side, downward. Right side, upward, left side, downward. And then the other way. Now go the other direction. Slowly come up onto your tippy toes and remove the second block, slowly lowering yourself down onto the first one. And here you can bring your knees up on the first block. So you're on the first block still. And just lift your knees up, lift your feet, and you have the weight directly onto the block. Your hips are just hanging over the block. And here, if you like, you can sway your knees side to side. So bringing the pressure to the hips here. Bring your knees forward and back. Just a slight movement. And if you had a pillow between your knees, remove that. And then bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling. With your feet up towards the ceiling, just start to do slight rotations of the feet towards one direction and then in the other direction. Flex your feet, and then bring your feet right down to the ground. Lift your hips up and remove that last block from underneath your hips. Lower your hips down slowly to the ground. And here it might feel good just to bring your knees into your chest. And you can have your knees about around your torso, so they're wider this time. They're not just directly over your belly. And you can rock yourself side to side, even front and back. Just moving your knees up towards the ceiling and back. You're rocking slightly forward and back and side to side. And then slowly just land on one side. Push up into your hands. And here, give yourself a moment just to set up your blocks behind you for the final pose. So here, either you can place a bolster or a bunch of pillows behind your back for when you're lying down on top of them, or grab a block, have it on the medium side along your spine, and then have another block for your head. You can always try placing the block for your head on the lower level and seeing how that feels. You'll have your head hang back a little bit more, but I like to have it on the higher height. And then once you're ready and you're set up, at that point, bring some pillows down for your legs. Turn yourself around for your block. And then set yourself up, lower yourself down onto your block. Doing this slowly. And then when you're ready, you can bring the pillows by your side for your knees and have your feet come together and your knees flop open. Your legs are in cobbler's pose. Take the time you need to readjust in this pose. And then your palms are towards the ceiling. And slowly start to let go of your back in the block. Or if you're over the bolster or pillows, just letting go into the bolster. So we'll be holding this for a few moments. So just get comfortable in it. Once you've settled in the block, if you are on block, you can start to shift your weight slightly right and left, just pushing that block a little further into your back, just swaying on top of it, feeling it go into your back, the shoulder blades. And then slowly start to inhale pretty deeply, feeling your chest rise and your back push into the block. And then slowly exhale out of your mouth, feeling your back round around the block. Inhale, chest rises, the ribcage expands. Exhale, and feel yourself deepen into the pose. Whenever you're ready, you can always start to bring your arms overhead also, bringing your hands towards your forehead and feeling the block push a little deeper into the upper back this time. And here, if you'd like to take a moment just to give yourself a little bit of a massage along your face, your eyebrows, maybe your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Take a few moments to do that. And notice if in this pose you're holding your hips up. Try to let go of that. And if at any point the pose is too intense, you can always modify, remove the blocks, and just lie on the ground directly. Make this practice your own, intensifying and making it less intense as needed. If your arms are overhead, you can bring your arms back down by your side, palms facing the ceiling. Slowly here, bring your elbows by your side, your hands come to your hips. And here you can slowly lift yourself up directly or roll over to one side in order to remove the blocks from behind you. And then lower yourself down, lowering your back onto the ground. And at the same time, place a pillow behind your head if you like. Pillows underneath your knees, stretching out your knees. And taking some space here. And just moving slowly. And letting your back and body take in the practice. So I'm just going to read this small quote, and it's just about life and how life generally isn't always fair. Some people are born into better environments. Some people have better genetics. Some are in the right place at the right time. And if you're trying to change your life, all of this is irrelevant. All that matters is that you accept where you are, figure out where you want to be, and then do what you can today and every day to hold your head high and to keep moving forward. Slowly, whenever you're ready, start to wiggle your hands, wiggle your toes. Maybe bring some rotations into your wrists and into your feet. And then stretch your arms overhead. If you have some space, reach up, stretch your toes, stretch through your body here. And then bring your knees into your chest. Rock yourself side to side. And then land on one side into a fetal position. You can rest your head on your arm. And then whenever you're ready, push up into your hands, coming back up into a seated position.